In the darkness of the night, we send our dreams to the stars, leaving Earth behind, searching for life. Wonder if there are aliens in their cars, floating through this cosmic sea. Are we alone or just a mystery? Searching the cosmos, seeking the truth. All of our voices echo to the moon. Alien life, tales of the youth. Together we'll dance to the celestial tune. Galaxies swirl in an endless dance, messages whispered caught in the winds. The universe spurs our wild romance. In this quest a new chapter begins. Eyes are watching from afar. Will we find them or are they just a scar? Searching the cosmos, seeking the truth. All of our voices echo to the moon. Alien life, tales of the youth. Together we'll dance to the celestial tune. The galaxies swirl in an endless dance, messages whispered caught in the winds. The universe spurs our wild romance. In this quest a new chapter begins. Eyes are watching from afar. Will we find them or are they just a scar? Searching the cosmos, seeking the truth. All of our voices echo to the moon. Alien life, tales of the youth. Together we'll dance to the celestial tune. So we'll travel, we'll dare to explore. In the silence of space we'll find so much more. We'll find so much more. Whoa.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Dark Side of the Moon. Now I'm joined tonight by my lovely co-host, Jenny from Emerald Isles Paranormal. Remember, check out all the links in the description. Please go over and head it. Do you want to share out your TikTok? Can you share it? Because Jenny's got a TikTok, guys, that you want to check out because she's got to start doing lives for locations and things like that. You might even see some ghosts in the Pope chasing after her through the castle ways, you know.
The TikTok is Emerald Isle Paranormal. Emerald Isle Paranormal Researchers. If you can go onto TikTok and see that, we're now going to go live on TikTok. And I'll be doing more lives when I do investigations and so on. Hi, Pom. Hi, Ira. Hi, Noreen.
Hey, Noreen. I mean, the subject tonight, I didn't take any pictures tonight, obviously, because it's just the Pope we're talking about here. And we're also talking about the Vatican City itself, because obviously we know about all the secret vaults below that nobody's. And before MD says, "Oh, if you don't get any pictures of that," before I say that, it's called the secret vaults because it's suspected that there's a secret vaults and there's no pictures of the secret vaults. Mm-hmm. So it's suspected that it is the city of the dead underneath the Vatican, though, where they keep all the bodies. It's meant to be more extent than the Paris catacombs. Did you know that?
I would have no doubt that it is. There's a lot about the Vatican. I know when I was doing shows before, and we'd always ask questions, or I've been asked a question saying, if you could investigate anywhere in the world, where would you investigate? And I would always say the Vatican. And people say, why? And I said, because of the why would you not want to investigate the Vatican? Really?
I'm going to say a lot of people don't realise that the Vatican City is actually its own country.
Yes.
People don't really, there's a lot of people out there that think it's just part of Italy, but it's not. The Vatican itself is its own country. It's its own organised. That's why it's good. That's why they're so powerful, and that's why they're so rich.
Yeah.
Because it's classed as their own country. You see. Hey, Lawrence, good to see you, my friend. But it's like, I mean, I'm going to say, right, I've watched a load of stuff on the Pope, right, and I'm going to say there's going to be another Pope, right?
There is going to be another Pope. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, and this is maybe a wee bit of a rant. I'm going to bring it in here because this is an alien show today. I mean, it's kind of like all the conspiracy theorists out there, right? Here we go. Wait for this. I mean, for a long time, for 30 years now, the alien organizations, podcasters, whoever they are, have been saying that the Galactic Federation of Light are coming to save us, right?
Aye.
They say it every single year that they're on the moon. They're building Medipods. They're coming down. They're going to save us all. And every single year they miss that, right? Every year there's some mad, crazy, their spaceship broke down and they couldn't make it and all that kind of stuff. and that's how ridiculous. I mean, I do like a bit of conspiracy. There is conspiracies out there, real conspiracies. But then you get conspiracies that are just stupid. I'm going to say with the Pope, I think it's the same as when the guy was writing it to say how many popes there would be. I think he'd just get fed up after he got to 109. You know, it's kind of like the Mayan calendar. The world was going to end in 2012. You know, it went.
I have to say that, and I will say that frightened. And I kind of, and I'm going to say this, and people might laugh when I say this. I find myself to be a clever woman sometimes, but in 2012 got me, because I was obviously younger, but it got me. It really got me. That's where I do not want to be. With a lot of male energy. There's need an Irish woman in amongst those male energies, and let's see how far that goes.
Yeah, I'm going to say a lot of conspiracies out there are utter bullshit. And I'm just saying it. I'm going to say it right now. I mean, I do a lot of tarot readings and stuff like that. Maybe people say, he's went to the tarot reading side. The tarot, he's a devil worshipper. He's a devil worshipper. I get it all the time when I'm doing my TikTok lives. I get the mad people that come in and say that I should repent and stuff like that. And look, I do think there's real conspiracies out there, with real things that's actually happened in the world. But when it comes to the Catholic Church, I'm going to say right now there is a few unusual things. I mean, we've got, obviously, they've got the artifacts that they've stashed away. It could be the Holy Grail, the Ark of the Covenant, who knows? They've got it stashed away. I do feel, and everybody's got to remember too, it was the Catholic Church that hunted down the Knights Templars and killed them because they were getting too wealthy. That's why they did it. I mean, the Knights Templars weren't bad. They were just hunted down and executed because they had too much money. You know?
Yeah. I mean, I have a lovely woman who's going to be on my show in the next few weeks, months, and she is part of the Masons.
Yeah.
Like Templars. She's one or the other, because I know they're a little different, aren't they?
Is that the Southern Star? The Southern Star. Yeah.
Well, that's it. I think the conspiracies are just a smokescreen for something else. I think it's a fear mongering thing that they're using. And I tell you, these days, and I sound old when I say that, these days when they use social media, and it's a curse and a hindrance and a blessing at the same time, more of a curse and a hindrance. And a blessing when we can communicate with families who are abroad and whatnot, you know, and they're using it for fear mongering. And I know a lot of people will like the conversation, and a lot of people will not like the conversation. And as we say always at the beginning of the show, these are our opinions and not anyone else's.
It's
You
true.
know,
Iron Firehorse says here. All
that's
of these ridiculous conspiracies theory are just a distraction from the real conspiracy theory,
right.
and that's the honest truth. Look, I'm going to say right now, I do believe there's aliens out there. There's aliens out there.
It's
I'm going to
something.
say that now. They've probably been visiting us for a long time. They're probably like, oh my God, look at the humans. Let's stay away from them because they're mad, right? I'm going to say that right now. I believe in that. And I do believe in the government having secret organisations and stuff like that. Of course, they're going to have that, right?
Yeah.
But I'm going to say there's some conspiracy theories out there that's just mad.
Yes.
When it comes to the Catholic Church, when it comes to the Catholic Church in particular, they've got a lot to hide, right? For all the things that they've done over the years. And we will get to the prophecies soon of the Pope, because I'll read some of the stuff out, but I'm going to let Jenny first. When you go, Jenny, because I know you've got a few things you want to say.
I did say, you know, and I did say to my I was out with my family today, and I said I have to do a show tonight on about, you know, the Vatican and whatnot. And I'm like, do they really just? I said, does Chris should know me by now to put me on a show when it comes to religion?
I can't help myself. I had to do it to see what time.
Lord Jesus, take the wheel. And I mean, I'm not, and I will say it, I am very far from anti-religion. I'm very much against, do not shove your crap down my throat. I do not like it. You will not like my answers. You will not like my reply. Do not do it. We are not doing that. There are things that I've always said it from when I was a young child. I am very anti-priest and anti-nuns. Like, I had a nun as a boss when I was working, and I had a nun as a teacher. I loved her. She was brilliant. Loved her. But I can't even.
I had to bring that up, Jenny.
But got away with it because he was a Masonic links. Will you see that's all in the clip?
Do you know? Get it? It's a joke. It's a joke.
No. I mean, listen, I have a long day. No, tell me, I'm not like blonde.
The butcher makes sausages, links, right? And Masonic had links. The Masonic Lodge has links.
Like I am stupid now because I didn't get that joke, but you know,
it's fine. It's fine. It'll be fine.
I'll get it.
It'll be fine.
I'm looking at this Iron Fire. Did you see Trump's post on the Truth social of him dressed as a pope? I will just.
I've seen that. I know.
Sorry, the mute button is definitely going to work tonight for me. The links, I'm with the whole link thing. I'm out of the loop on that. I don't know why I got it.
It's an old-fashioned joke. The Masonic Lodge. The Masonic Lodge are known to have links in the community. The Masonic temple and stuff like that are known to have links. So they've got their fingers in all the pies. Do you get me? So they've got the police, they've got the army, they've got everything, and it's called links. So the butcher got off with the murder because he had Masonic links.
Okay, I got it now. I kind of like bomb dived with me, but you know, I got it. Listen, the main thing is I got it in the end.
Yes.
So when I say about priests and nuns, I am porcupines. The nun I had as a teacher growing up, she was lovely. We loved her. We literally well loved her. And I used to be taken to a convent as on tours when I was in a school, when I was in school, primary school and whatnot. And in the last few months, I have investigated a convent in Cork. So, you know, I know, Aaron, thank you so much. It took Aaron a minute as well. It took me until it had to be explained to me. It took me longer than a minute. I mean, I will say, and I don't know how far we can go with this conversation. I don't know how far we can go with it.
You can go as far as you want. I mean, I'm going to say right off the bat that there will be another pope. Yes, it says the prophecy originates, right? It was actually an Irish Archbishop that prophesied. He said when he was in Rome. What it says, right, the 900-year-old prophecy could be fulfilled as Pope Francis's health deteriorates. So this is an old one. We now know he's dead. Okay, so let's skip that back. So the prophecy originates from a mysterious text called the Prophecy of the Popes, okay, to St. Malcolm, an Irish archbishop. It would be an Irish archbishop. Right. You see the luck in this. Here we go. I mean, I'm going to say right now, who claimed to have received a vision during a visit to Rome in 1339. Okay. Now, the vision alleged to reveal the names and characters of the 109 future popes. So he had a vision saying that there was 109 popes, right? There's got to be 109 popes, right? I mean, he had to just think of a number. I mean,
so how many popes are we in by now? How many popes have?
Oh, this is the last pope. He's meant to be the last pope.
Oh,
so he's the last one. So this vision is alleged to reveal the names and characters, right, of the 109 future popes, ending with the chilling prediction about the final pope, which is the one that's just died. Right. Of the last pope, the prophecy states in the final prediction of the Holy Roman Church, there will be a reign of Peter the Roman, who will feed his flock amid many tribulations, after which 7 held city will be destroyed. So that's the Vatican City, by the way. Will be destroyed. The judge will be judged, the people, and the end. The Pope Francis as the 109th, so he's the last one. So basically, the Vatican's to burn to the ground, basically, soon.
Wow.
Yeah, and then it says the description raising anxiety, his death could be the fearful prophecy, right? While many scholars question, because this is where we have to go, because it is questionable, the authenticity of the prophet of the Pope, some aspects of St. Malcolm predicts have been remarkably accurate. So I'll look at them, see the names that he said, all the names, all the 109 names, names, he's been correct.
Wow. Okay.
So he's been right with the names.
Okay, so there is. How long does it take for another pope to be?
It's usually about 3 weeks, is it not?
Is it?
Because it's that?
Because we're 2 weeks now, or 2 weeks, I think. Is it 2 weeks or 3 weeks? I'm not too sure.
So there's a guy here called author Robert Howells who extensively researched the Catholic Church secrets into these prophecies in his book, The Last Pope. According to Howells, accuracy of some descriptions cannot be easily dismissed. Okay, wrote in the prophecies in the 12th century, gave the Pope, 1339, listed 109 remaining popes, ending with the last one, Peter the Roman, which is the one that's just passed away.
Wow.
It's the only description of the prophets which more than a few words Howell explains. But then we've got skeptics that argue that the prophecy remained hidden in the Vatican archives until publication in 1559, leaving Rome potential establishment. However, Howells points to examples of historical events. Okay. So, for instance, Pope Benedict, I think that's the Sixth, who resigned from 1914 to 1920, was described by Malcolm as a religious. Was that during his? Was that Utopian or something like that? I can't pronounce that. His World War II. So he claimed that the war and all that. Which you go, can he write? Oh, I'm going to say that now. Claimed 20 million lives. In 1918, the Spanish flu devastated Europe. Okay. Revolutions, and then he claimed again that there'd be things like revolutions which happened in Russia, because obviously the Tsar and all that killed. You know, was it 1914, 1915? No, it was after the World War. 1918 when the Tsar was killed, wasn't it? So seemingly the Pope John Paul, who served from 1978 to 2005, was called a shining star, which is interesting. His papal coat of arms is featured as a shining star, leading to further credence to the prophecy's eerie accuracy.
Oh, gee.
Which is, I mean, see, it's interesting because some popes have even tried to fit themselves into the prophecy. In 1958, Cardinal Spellman sailed a boat filled with sheep down the Tebar River to match the prophecy's reference to a shepherd and mariner.
Oh my!
I mean, yeah. So I'm going to say some of it is right, some of it's true, but then it makes you wonder. I sent you that article. That's the article that I just sent you, right?
Yes. I'm going to have a wee look at it now. I want to see now that they have to vote a priest in. I never even knew you had to vote a priest in.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how much I know about all that stuff. You have to vote a priest in, which I like.
All the cardinals vote.
I mean, I do know what people say. Some people say sometimes you don't have to say anything; your face just says it.
Yeah, I mean,
I just mute my microphone.
I'm going to say the new it has got some uncanny consistencies, but I do think there'll be another pope.
Well, there is going to be another pope because what they say and what they've written down and what people say, this is going to happen, this is going to happen, that's going to happen. We hold our breaths. We hold our breaths, like, because they told us, or the media told us, and so on and so on. So we're going to wait for this to happen. There are a few things that I had a conversation today with my sister and a friend of mine in Dublin today, and I'm not even going to say, it wasn't about religion, but it was about the country of Ireland, of what's happening to it and what it is going to turn into, which is a totally different subject for another day. But it is about religion as well, but it's happening before our eyes, and we cannot do anything about it to stop it. You can protest until the cows come home, but whenever you protest against of what is happening to each country, the religion is going to change. So I was told but not that I was told today. Well, the conversation was going on today. Ireland, being Ireland, obviously Catholic, they're going to slowly turn it into Muslim. And listen, and I say each your own, but you can shove that one right up your arse and light it on fire and fucking smoke afterwards. We're not doing that. Sorry, I'm getting passionate about it.
I know. Jenny's getting passionate, everyone. Jenny's getting passionate.
We are not bloody well doing that.
Let's jump back to the Pope. Right? I'm going to say, right, there will be another Pope. Like, where is it? It says it in the chat there. Where is it? 3 weeks there. Flynn said the start on Wednesday, the vote, whatever it's called, right? So they'll probably vote another one, and everybody's saying there's going to be something dramatic happens, but it would need to be extremely dramatic for them not to have another pope. That would need the Vatican would need to cease to exist if that happened.
If there wasn't a pope, right?
Yeah, but I'm going to say right off the bat, there's definitely going to be a pope. But what I'm going to say is they do have a lot of secrets. The Vatican, they have so many secrets. I mean, you've got the city of the dead.
Oh, Lord Jesus, hold on. I'm going to have to take the wheel for a second and breathe because I'm just not. I was like, I said to you, Chris, are you sure you want me on the show talking about the Vatican? Because really? What's this? Lawrence, I remember walking to the Phoenix Park in Dublin with family and relatives to see the Pope. Pope John Paul in 1979. I remember he was out. We call it out the road from me. So I'm in Drogheda. So he would have been in Dunleer, Lawrence. You know Dunleer. He would have been in Dunleer. And there is still a cross on the side of the road when you go by it. So, and I liked Pope John Paul. And I have to say, I did like Pope Francis. Is it Pope Francis?
Is that the older one? The last one?
Yeah, I didn't like him at the beginning because, once again, social media put stupid thoughts in my mind about him, what he liked, what he didn't like. And then when I watched more and more and more about him, was like he was a really different pope compared to the rest of them.
I thought the last one was more open. The last one was more open to other things. I think the other one, it was less.
Which one?
The one that's passed away. I think he was more open. I think he did curb down. He did go after. You know what I'm going to mention. He did go after a lot of priests that did naughty things, right? He did do that. A lot of them did pay the price.
Yeah, he wanted to put, others. And I will be saying, and I did ask Chris at the beginning before we started this show, there is one person that I will be calling out tonight. He is a priest. And the way he addressed me last week, and I certainly did not like it, I will be calling his name out later on. And you know what? When he called me out, he immediately went in and blocked me. And this is a priest because I've asked him a question on a show that he did last week, a question that nobody would ask him on a show ever, a live show. Mm-hmm. And of course, you have Jenny here that would ask questions that need to be asked.
They should be asked, yeah.
Of course I did. But the way he addressed me the next day and then blocked me immediately, the minute he addressed me, he blocked me.
That's terrible.
No, I'm thinking, oh, you literally marked your card. You marked your cards when you called me what you called me. You've marked your cards, and I did not like that whatsoever. Which makes me, with priests, I'm going to say, I will.
You can name this radio station if you want. I'm not bothered.
No, I'm not going to do that because he's a friend of mine. So I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that because he's a friend of mine. I will name the priest, but I won't name the radio station because he is a friend of mine. But when I'm going to tell you what the question was I asked him last week, and I watched the show. And of course, I'm being straightforward with him. He's a priest. We were talking about the Vatican and so on and so on and so on. And I said, right, let me ask this question. So I said, what are your opinions on what is happening, not only recently, but within the Vatican on priests that rape and abuse when we are to trust the people of the cloth? That was my question. It was pushed up and ignored and never to be. And I did say, I did comment saying, if you do not answer me, I'm going to highlight this and bring it onto my show. So the next day, Hopi, my dog is snoring. The next day, this priest came back towards me and said, and highlighted my name and said, Jenny Sullivan, highlighted my name saying, Jenny Sullivan, stop it, woman.
Oh, that's bad.
The minute, hold on.
I should really get a tune to play while Jenny mutes her mic. I'm going to say right now, there's a lot of. I'm going to say, how old was this guy? What age would you say it was?
This guy was in the 60s or 70s. But when he said Jenny Sullivan, so he knew my name.
Yeah.
But still proceeded to say, stop it, woman. It happens in every walk of life. Just doesn't get the attention from liberal media narratives, from anti-Catholic bias.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, so you think rape and abuse is a walk of life? It's a walk of life, and it just doesn't get the immediate attention. Well, it bloody well. Hold on.
Yeah. Beep, 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 beep.
Jesus, take the wheel. But it doesn't get the media attention. But the media attention, when it comes to rape and abuse, that gets immediate attention. But when it comes from a church, Katrina, when it comes from a church, you should not have to read those bloody fucking headlines to say that a priest was accused and assaulted a boy or a girl for rape and abuse. These are the headlines. His name is Father Bob Bailey. Father Bob Bailey, who blocked me. If anyone knows him, tell him to go shove his fucking cross up his arse. I'm sorry I said it.
No, look, I'm going to say there's a lot of backward people out there, and he's obviously one of them. There's somebody on TikTok that really annoys me. I can't remember what his name is, but he's a Roman Catholic priest, right? And he goes after every single person that's into Wicca. Every single person that's like different, like gay or whatever. He goes after everybody. And it's, you should repent. And if you do tarot readings, because that's what I do, everybody, if you're seeing me for the first time, I do a lot of tarot readings. Oh, look, I've got the devil's cards in my hand for the religious nuts out there. I'm going to say right now that he goes after them with a vengeance. Because he goes after people that are the most nicest people in this world, right? And they go after people that say they're satanic worshippers. They go after people to say that they're evil and because they're gay, they should be burned at the stake and stuff like that. I mean, how do folk get away with that? How do folk get away with that so long? I mean, this is meant to be like modern times we live in. Okay, I mean, it's sad.
Well, you see, people are copping onto it a little bit, and people are afraid to talk about it, and people are not afraid to talk about it. I am definitely one not afraid to talk about it, and I get it. People will not like what I'm saying, and people will like what I'm saying. But I'm not going to be that person and say, "Oh, I can't say it because it's Jesus Christ." I'm not talking about Jesus or religion. I'm talking about priests who use the cloth and the cloak that they wear to and the church that will hide it, and the Vatican to hide it. And even the Vatican, you have priests, if they have to do an exorcist or something like that, they have to go to the Vatican for the Vatican to approve it.
Yeah.
And then, so when people talk about religion and priests and nuns and whatnot, and priests, and I was talking today, actually, to someone today, and how many nuns that had to go and have an abortion because priests were raping them too. So this is what I'm saying, and people might not like this and say, Jenny, you're getting too raw here now. And listen, this is who I am. If you know what we're talking about and you know who I am, those who don't know me will get to know me. Exactly. I do not like this, God-fearing thing. Listen, and they're all in the back room with their little whiskey as well. And it's just, because I just say that as well, Chris, that if I get too much of what I say, let me know.
No, it's absolutely fine. No, because people are needing to talk about this, Mia, because it has been going on since. Here's a question. I ken there's a lot of nuns out there that were evil, especially in Ireland and Scotland, right. But more in Ireland, especially what happened with the young children and stuff like that. Saying this is modern times, and I ken this is going to be mad. There'll be a priest listening to this, and they'll probably start rolling about the flare and frothing at the mouth when I say this. Why can a nun not become a pope?
I did read that up last week about it, and I didn't take it on board what was said, because I was reading it and I was like reading through that. I scrolled through it and then I went into something else. There is actually in India. No, I'm thinking of something completely different. Sorry, excuse me. I'm thinking of something completely different. I actually was reading up something different, so I just ran away with my thoughts there right now. No idea why but I'm going to look it up though.
I mean, you would think in this modern times, right, and to try and bring unity to the world between women and men, right, and whatever you identify as, obviously, you would think you could give that person a chance. But they'll know, because it's as the song goes, it's a man's world, isn't it? That's the old system that they're in, and they want to keep it that way.
Yeah, that got my song in my head. This is the man's world.
Yeah, exactly.
Didn't give me the right answer that I'm looking for, but I am looking up why a nun cannot be a priest. Hoppy, my dog is snoring. Like, can you hear my dog snoring? I get so, see, I was thinking like, oh my God, I have to talk about this subject tonight. And I'm like, okay. Oh, no, we don't want that. Sorry, forgive me for a second. It doesn't really say.
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't say why a nun cannot be a priest.
Exactly.
Why isn't there a female pope? No woman can be elected pope because women are not ordained in the Catholic Church.
I don't get that. See, this is where it hangs down to the. This is where it spirals down to men always thinking that they're right. Like you put your comment, and that priest called you a silly woman.
He called me "stop it, woman." And
stop it, woman.
What annoys me is the fact that he highlighted my name and called me woman, and I'm thinking you.
Yeah. Makes you wonder what he's getting his secrets.
That the fact that well, that's exactly what I thought. That the minute you shut my question down, you call me woman, I would beg of you to say that standing in front of me, because I'll tell you now, he wouldn't get he'd be praying for Jesus. If he called me woman in front of me, if anyone called me woman, or especially this priest that called me stop it, woman, and I'm thinking, he literally marked his cards when he called me woman, and I'm thinking,
oh yeah, it's a good job that you weren't standing close to him.
You'll see me. There's nothing wrong on my internet. I'm just muting myself because
Yeah.
I've got a lot of curse words that I will be saying, and I mute it.
I tell you what I'll do is I'll read you some of the prophecy. Do you want to hear some of the prophecy? It's quite interesting actually because it goes
Okay.
on about earthquakes and stuff like that, right?
Hi, okay.
So it says the final prediction of the Holy Roman Church. There will be reign Peter the Roman, which is there now, which has just died, who will feed his flock amid many tribulations, which we've had so many tribulations. I mean, we've had that bug, we've had wars. You think about it. After which, seven-hailed city, that's the Vatican, by the way, will be destroyed. Okay, it's suggested that Rome itself could be affected by war, earthquake, or even a comet, which I don't think there's any comets that we, because let's face it, if a comet hit, will wipe everybody out, which was common concerned when the prophecy was written. Wording the apocalyptic scenarios. Okay, the destruction could be 1,000 years away. It may simply mean that the Pope Francis is the last pope on Malcolm's list, which I think it is. I think it's the last pope on his list, but it's not the last pope, if you get my drift. It's no. He just probably wrote 109 and thought, oh, okay, and I've got 109 names. That's that. I can't be asked anywhere. I'm away for a drink of wine, and that's what he probably did.
Probably.
There's a black.
Like Katrina saying, there's a black cardinal called Peter in the running for Pope. Yes, I've seen him, and there's another Pope, and I've listened to him talk, and he is from the Philippines. Yeah. So I've listened to him talk, and what you really want is someone who followed the last Pope, because he was. I loved John Paul, Pope Paul. I remember the day he passed away. And then with Pope Francis, he was just, I listened to him speak all the time, and I really, really liked him. And it was.
He was mere open.
It was a horrible day, the day he passed away, because he was such an open priest, Pope. And that's what you want. That's the religion that you want. You don't want these priests who will condemn you if you say something wrong, you do something wrong, or people within their lives or their marriages or kids. I remember when we were younger, and we were, when you would have a child out of wedlock, and they were known as bastards. To the church, they were known as bastards. And that's I don't like that either. And I'm going to be very strict and real with it. I do not like that word when it comes to, you would call a child a bastard child because their parents were not married in the eyes of God, in the church of God and whatnot. And I don't get why they would say that. I don't get it, why they would say something like that. And I think it's very, and when women who got pregnant when they were, not married, and they were put into the Magdalene laundry.
That was terrible.
And so on.
That was.
But I always say, what happened to the men who raped these young women, who got them pregnant? These women had to go into these Magdalene laundries. If you ever watched the movie, The Magdalene Laundry, you would have nuns going in at nighttime and taking these women out and bringing them to the priest's room so the priest can rape them. So tell me where you fucking see God in that, because I don't. And I know people say, Jenny, you shouldn't say that, you shouldn't say that. We think it, but we bloody well don't say it. And I'm saying it. Where is God there? Where is God? So I call them people in disguise, the devil in disguise. That's what I call them. Yeah. Devil in disguise. When it comes to priests and nuns, I don't care what they do, how they got to do, what they got to do is devils in disguise. I would not tar all of them with the same brush. Some of them are genuinely lovely. And some of them, I watched, can I just say something very quickly?
No,
I watched something 3 weeks ago on Facebook, and it's called, I forget the name of it on Facebook, but they do trap people who would online try to get children in to abuse them, to meet up with them, abuse them. They met up with a priest in the north of Ireland. They met up with a priest. He's a community priest. and he's in a higher range. I don't know what he was called, but people knew him and loved him, and so on and so on and so on. It was live, and it went out pre-recorded as well because it was live and so on and so on. He was more worried about getting his mother, grooming kids, more worried about getting his mother into the car than he was about. And then when he was asked, because he had a caravan, when he was asked about this caravan, he put his head down. You knew he knew what they were talking about, but he would not say anything. And this was only 3 weeks ago. And yet these priests are moved from community to community to country to community to let it happen again to other children that have no idea about these priests. So this is my beef with the whole religion thing. I am a Catholic. I am Christian. You know, I do my own thing. I don't go to church. I don't want preaching to, but I do have my own thing. But when they have these priests dressed up in the devil clothing, not for me.
Yeah. Iron Fire Horse there. Yeah, I mean, she's got a point. I mean,
that's why we need modern laws. But when there's Western world leaders who have been convicted for those types of crimes and aren't punished, it doesn't bode well for women's rights. Right? Exactly. So you have these all, and they're shipped up, and they're kept quiet, and they're moved into a community where people believe them and trust them, and have their children as altar girls and altar boys and so on and so on and so on. It's like, I tell you, put me into the president for Ireland. I'll tell you, I'll get rid of all of them.
I'm going. There you go. You should run, Jenny. I mean, I'm going to say that the corruption is terrible. Not just in the Catholic Church, also in a lot of religion out there. There's a lot of corruption out there. But see, this is what I like about this show, right? You're truthful. And that's what we need here. See, there's loads of podcasters out there that do conspiracy shows and that, but they believe in a lot of bullshit. I mean, I watched a show the other night there, and they were going on about how bathrooms are haunted by demons.
What did you say? Bathrooms?
The bathrooms, demons like bathrooms.
Listen.
And seemingly priests like to bless the bathrooms more. And I was like, what the hell is this mad shit that I'm watching right now? And we're going on about blessing the bathrooms and stuff like that. And I'm like, but it's like, I'm going to say this, Tate. See with people going on about demons all the time. See this demonic shit and the paranormal. It really, really annoys me. It's very unlikely that you're going to come in face to face with a demon. Very, very unlikely.
Well, it depends on what you had to eat last night. It depends on what we're talking about.
I mean, I'm going to say the new. There's loads of ghost hunting shows, and this is a kind of rant for me. I'm just getting it off my chest, and I'm just going to say there's loads of ghost hunting channels out there. Oh, there's a demon! There's a demon in the house! Oh my God, we're doomed! There's no demon in the house. There's probably a ghost sitting in the corner in his chair, thinking, "What the hell is that guy with all that camera stuff strapped to his head, wandering about shouting for?" Look, I'm going to say this. It's very unlikely that you will encounter a demon. Yes, they may exist, but it's very unlikely. What's that? I'll let you read that when you go.
At a very high level, unexplained, i.e., at a very high level, a woman can't be pope due to many reasons, like a tradition, church doctrine, canon law, and papal requirements. Is it not time that should be changed a little bit?
Should be.
But it's religion, and they're afraid to change the religion. It's like, you know, when it comes to the Freemasons and on, they're afraid. I know of one woman that I know. She's a lovely friend of mine, and she's going to be on my show talking about that, because she is one of. It's not the Freemasons. What's the other one? Freemasons and
it's the Southern Star. Are you talking about the Knights Templars? That's what I have bothered with.
Knights Templars. That's what she's. Yeah.
That's what I have bothered with, and I'm going to say that the Knights Templars were always males, right? Because in the Friday the 13th is when the Catholic Church went after the Knights Templars, burnt them all at the stakes and that, because they had more money and stuff like that. A lot of people get it all mixed up. The Knights Templars were not Catholic. The Knights Templars were Protestant, and that's why they've got all these problems with Catholics and Protestants and all that kind of stuff. It's because what happened. I'm going to say right now with the Southern Star was just the same as the Masonic Lodge, because I know people that were in it, but it was the women version. The Masonic Lodge were the main. You get how the Masonic Lodge came about. If you really want to know how the Masonic Lodge came about, they were the builders for the Templars. Mm-hmm. They were the Masons. They built Rosslyn Chapel. They built their tombs. They built the places where they stored their gold. They built their castles and all that kind of stuff. That's how the Masons came about.
True.
But the thing about the Knights Templars is there's a lot of people buy into the Templars. So you buy a mad title that says you're a Templar and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. But if you're a real Templar, Templars are meant to be, they don't have wives. They don't go with MD. They're meant to be, what's the word I'm looking for here, Jenny?
I have no idea.
The real Templars don't have wives and stuff like that, and you could only be a man, which it was always that kind of thing. And then it came about where organisations started selling things. Oh, you can become a Templar if you give me £25 and stuff like that. And there's loads of folk out there that could own their Templars. There's loads of people out there that could own their Templars. It doesn't mean to say they're Templars. They've got maybe a bit of paper that says, I'm a Knights Templar. But that was maybe printed off because they paid £25 or £50 or whatever it is. You know?
Aye.
But that's...
Sorry.
The Templars, the real Templars, the real Templars that still exist today, because they still do exist today, are 99.9% all of them are men, right? And they're really wealthy. They're very powerful, right? Women, and I'm going to say the new, all the books that I've read on the Knights Templars were never Knights Templars. They weren't.
Aye.
They weren't. I mean, if you go back to like Joan Arc and that, right? Everybody says, "Oh, Joan Arc and that." She wasn't a Knights Templar. She was just a Crusader. She was like a sword dude. Okay, what I mean? That's what she did. But the Knights Templars were murdered by the Catholic Church because that's what Friday the 13th is, right? Because that's the day that the Catholic Church decided to go and murder them all and take all their gold and castles and money.
When I'm looking at unexplained IE, the church tried very hard to suppress women having any position of power in the witch trials. And that's, as we all know, that's very true. That's very true. So to have anything such as a woman being a pope, to have more control over religion, Catholic and priests and nuns and whatnot, that would be unheard of. Because a man rules it goes by the man, and people are God-fearing, so they will never question it or judge it or XYZ. They'll ask it, but they'll take the first answer that they're given, and that's it.
See, a lot of the books, if we go back to the Bible, right? If we go back to the Bible was written, 400, 500 years after Jesus died, right? If we really think about it, right? So if the Bible was written after Jesus died, about 500 years after Jesus died, right? And at that time, women were basically slaves to men, if you really think about it. So they thought to themselves, how can we control the women? How can we control the women? How can we control the women in the future to live by our law and to do our stuff? Oh, let's take this book here and we'll modify it. We'll modify it so it's basic, and it's the same with all religions. I'm not just going with the Holy Bible. I'm going with like, the Quran. I'm going with other kind of things today, and it's modified and it's designed to control women. Mm-hmm. And I think, and I'm going to say right now, I think they should write a new Bible.
Well, they probably did it already.
They probably. I mean, have you seen that prophet that's meant to be going about?
No.
There's this. Help us in the chat, guys. There's meant to be a prophet, seemingly is the reincarnated Jesus, but he's also Muhammad, and he's the reincarnation of the, what do you call it, the all in one, right? It's on TikTok today, And he's going round about saying, oh, you must follow me to be blessed by God. I'm going to tell you something right now. See Jesus, he started about, right? And he never asked once for someone to follow him, right?
Aye.
See, when somebody says, you must follow me, that guy's know who you think he is. That guy's
Right.
like a cult leader type of thing. The thing about Jesus is that a lot of people don't realise Jesus actually performed a lot of, like,
Hi,
hey
Sarah.
there, I'm going to say right now, Jesus actually performed a lot of miracles. So Jesus like turned the water into wine. Jesus healed people. And if you think about it, that's kind of like magic, isn't it? Whereas long ago you had these witches, Wicca witches,
Yes.
and which healed people, and people thought it was magic, so they burnt them at the stake. But they didn't do it to the men that did it. They only did it to the women, because that's women that are becoming more powerful. Can you imagine it? Right? You're a witch hunter, right? You're starting about, you're doing your thing in the English countryside in the 1400s, right? And you come across a woman that's healed 6 people. And that person's healed those 6 people. They've cured them of all their ailments. And that's making that man look stupid, isn't it?
Right.
That's making, like, say for instance, there's a doctor for the 1500s, right? And he looks at it and he's like, oh, I need to sprinkle some in my mad potion that I've made out of it. But then this Wicca woman comes along and heals them, right? The White Witch heals them. He's going to be pissed off because he's a man for a start. He's going to feel like, oh, that woman's outdone me. She's a witch. Let's burn her at the stake. Because that's what they did. It's a horrible. I blame religion for a lot of problems.
Oh, I do, and I have to say, I do agree with Ironfire, because I've questioned this for many times. I never understood why the whole crucifixion thing for Jesus.
Yeah.
What was the purpose of that? And I know what they say is like, he died for our sins and so on.
That's what the Bible says.
This is where we can go deep with this. If we can go deep with this, but
I mean, again, when it says in the Bible he died for our sins, the Bible was written 500 years after he was crucified and died. I mean, everybody says he rose for the dead, and the big stone rolled away for the burial thing. But a lot of people don't realise that Easter is actually a pagan ritual.
Yes. Right? Ironfire is saying, like, to me, it was more right. So when people know when this happened, they crucified Jesus and so on, they probably think it happened in heaven and so on, but it didn't. It happened on earth. So, and I do agree with Ironfire. It was more right. So when I seen a picture of it last week, and I seen there was 3 crosses, and one with Jesus on it, and I'm like, he suffered for our sins. And so, therefore, we must not sin, and so on, and so on, and so on. This man was whipped and whipped and whipped, and he had a crown of thorns on his head. A human, not a spirit, a human had this done to him for religion. And your God-fearing all of us. People probably think, I'm an atheist, I'm anti-Christian. I am not anti-Christian. I am a human that has questions, and I'm very right with everyone, all of us watching, anyone commenting has the right to say what you want to say. If you think you can't say it, say it. Yeah. Put it in a private chat. Tell us, and we can call it up, whatever. And I do agree with Ironfire that, exactly. it was like, well, although he may have survived, but they wanted him dead. And that oh my gosh, I'm trying to think now. There's a woman. Sorry, now I have to get my names right before I even mention any name, because it shows how much I know about religion. I know enough that I need to know. Was it Mary Magdalene?
Jesus' mother. I mean,
no, the woman that they stoned.
Oh. I don't know.
The woman that they had stoned, and please, anyone, and I know her name, and if you say her name, I will know her name. But the woman that they had stoned.
See, while you get that name, I mean, the Masonic Lodge and the Knights Templar had a suspicion. See how the Catholic Church thinks that Jesus was crucified and then he rose from the dead, and the big stone.
Sorry, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
The big stone rolled away. I mean, the Knights Templars and the Masons had a total different idea, you know. I mean, what supposedly the Holy Grail wasn't a cup. It wasn't that. It was a bloodline. Because they say that Jesus actually had a wife and he had a son.
So,
and
Jesus and the woman taken in adultery. So, Israel was a symbolic female spouse who became an adulterous woman and thus betrayed and trust and honor of a loving God who was presumed to resemble a faithful husband, according to the name I can't say. This God ordered that Israel be stoned to death because of her infidelity, as a warning to all women.
Exactly.
And we're thinking, do you know what I always say? Jesus, take the fucking wheel, because
that's why I think the Catholic Church. See, I think the Catholic Church went after the Knights Templars, not just because they were powerful, but because they were protecting a secret bloodline. And that is the tale. The tale is that Jesus got married, he had children. Those children get married and had children. Those children had children, and eventually, to this day, there will be like their bloodline within the world somewhere. They might not know it, but they say that the Templars protected that line. That's what they done. And see, can you imagine right now, Jenna, everybody in here, can you imagine what would happen if, say, we found a big book, right? And in that big book it went, Jesus got married, he had a loady family, it wasn't such and such, he didn't die at the cross, he did anything with that. Can you imagine what that would do to the Catholic Church?
That's my answer. I laughed. Sorry.
It would collapse within hours, with overnight.
Because then, they have lied to all of us.
And it
is the Bible is a man-made, and I know people who just jumped on and jumped off, and I see the numbers going up and the numbers are going down because they probably don't like what we're talking about, and that's genuine. But that's genuinely okay, because it's not for everyone. Because I know religion is a very cliche conversation to have, and so just say, and I get it. I understand why people be very upset. But if you're upset, question us about it. Give out to us about it. Let us know about it. That's okay. We're okay with that. But it's not condemning religion. It is not condemning religion. It is, for me, it's priests and nuns and the Catholic Church when they protect people that should not be protected. That is my beef with the Catholic Church, which is why I don't like it. And when this priest called me woman last week, and I'm thinking, my Lord Jesus, he needs to take his wheel, because he has his cars marked with calling me woman. You do not have a priest.
You never meet you.
You
never meet him.
It takes a lot for my mouth to go, what? And I
see that.
Couldn't respond because he blocked me. But for a priest who's supposed to be, nice, and don't be a dick, don't be an arsehole. For when he highlighted my name to call me woman, I'm thinking, Lord Jesus, be blessed that you fucking live in America, because if you say in my face, we're not doing that.
I'm going to say right now, see if Jesus was about, because I know that Jesus was a really good person, right? But the Bible, it's not true what the Bible says about him. A lot of the Bible's made up, right? A lot of it's made up to control people, and I'm going to say that now. But I'm going to say he did exist. He did live a good life. He did teach the right thing. He did a lot of magic. Yes, he turned water into wine, which would be an amazing party trick, Jenny. But I'm saying, but he did heal people, right? And again, the Bible was either 400 or 500 years after he died.
Hobby.
I'm going to say right now that there's no many podcasters out there who'll talk about this because they're afraid. They don't want to ruffle people's feathers. It's the same as the alien community. It's they've got to come for the Galactic Federation. See if I hear one more time for the Galactic Federation of Light, they're coming down to take me away and heal me on the moon. They've been saying it for the last 35 years. And I ken there's people in here, I ken there's people that watch me, and you know who I'm talking about, Jenny. And I'm going to say right now that there's people out there that are convinced that they're going to save humanity. The only people that are going to save
five-headed dogs.
The only people that are going to save humanity is humanity. Aliens, they're maybe sitting back, and even the Pope, the one that just died, he believed that aliens existed. They've got a big telescope.
That's why
he even said he would recognise them. He would bless them and stuff like that.
We need him to come back. We need him to come back. If there's resurrection, we need him to come back. Like, please. Though I genuinely think, and as someone has said tonight, and I'm going to go back on the comments about having someone in that's younger.
I think it's a good idea.
A younger priest, and I'm scrolling back through the comments. Somebody who is younger in the 60s and not the 70s and 80s and so on. To be the Pope.
We need somebody. You ever seen the series The Young Pope?
No.
It's actually quite good because he goes in, kid knowing he's going to work with all the cardinals and do what they want. And as soon as he becomes Pope, he gets rid of them all. He fires them all. And he starts changing everything. Yeah, that's what we need. We need a young one. We need somebody in their 30s, somebody that's open, somebody that believes in trying to help the world.
Someone in their 30s would never make it to be Pope because they're too young. So it's like someone said, and I can't see who it is because I scroll up too fast. Someone in their 60s, I don't think, when I listened to the Pope from the Philippines, I didn't listen to the Pope who, another Pope, I forget his name, but I listened to a little bit of the Pope from the Philippines. And sometimes I think, are you saying what people you want them to hear for them to get you in? And then the minute you're in, because he's in his 60s. So if he's saying what he wants people, he knows what people want to hear. Because after Pope Francis, you can't get better than that. And I know I'm going to say that you can't get better than that. Like I was saying, wisdom comes with age. Often, but not always. Well, that's completely 110%, absolutely. But are these popes saying what people want them to hear?
Of course they are.
Or what they want to hear, and then just be an absolute a gobshite after that.
What is the Pope actually do?
Well, who's the Pope that was before him? I forget his name. What was his name? He retired, and no Pope to this day has ever retired.
And there's actually a movie. There's a movie that was made, and it's got Anthony Hopkins. He plays the Pope that retires.
True.
I'm going to say the new. What does the Pope actually do? We cross it right. Again, this has got to sound stupid, right? This shows you how religious I am. And before I say this, I'm quite a religious person. I do believe that there is something after death. I don't believe in religion as any religion, but I do believe that there is something. Okay,
I do.
Right? Yeah, I do believe there's like some creator or something like that, but we'll never know until it's a time. But what does the Pope actually do, except for walk about and drive about in his wee box in the back of the Jeep and wave at folk? What does he actually do?
So, from my understanding, with Pope Francis, he was meeting with presidents, and he would talk to them about, of course, when we had gay rights and marriage rights in Ireland, that had to go by the church first. And then it also went through the government of Ireland and every country that voted in same-sex marriage and divorce and abortions. It had to go through all of that at some point. And you have to have the higher people to let this vote happen in your countries. So, of course, Ireland voted abortion in, first and foremost, we did. Divorce, which when they voted back in the 90s, it did not go ahead. Was it the 80s or 90s? It did not go ahead because they would not allow divorce in Ireland. And I was like, obviously I was around then, and I was thinking, and I was young, but too young to know in my mind by thinking like, how would you want to be married to someone for the rest of your life that you don't want to be married to because the church said no? So the church will determine the rest of your life with your partner because they do not believe in divorce. Well, that vote came in again, and we voted yes for divorce. And then equal rights marriage. We were the first country to have equal rights marriage in. And I remember being down the country with my sister, my twin, and a friend, away for the weekend. We were there watching the whole thing happen. And when the vote came in and it was, equal rights marriage is now legal in Ireland, it was a party fest because you love who you love and that is it. And the church does not believe in anything like that, and so on and so on and so on.
Yeah, that's what really annoys me, because I've got a lot of friends on YouTube that are gay, right? And some of them are old school, some of them are in their 60s, some of them are in their 70s, and they were telling me about how they were treated. And this has gone back to the 70s and 80s, especially with the church, and how they were treated. And it was terrible. And there was some of them were actually threatened, said, you need to go to hospital and get better and stuff. I mean, seriously, just because they fancied a man and they were a man. Some of them wanted to dress as a woman. So what if they want to do that? It's their life. They can do what they want.
Do you know that gets my shit now, Chris? It's because when priests have raped boys, little boys, what does it make them? And I know I am going to apologize for my language tonight, but I'm speaking my truth. I'm speaking there's no other words. I can spell it out for you if you want me to. I can type it down, but it is what it is. When a priest rapes a boy, what is that? What is it?
Look, I mean, here we go again, especially with the Catholic Church. I mean, it did. I mean, if we to go back to the United States, right, if we go and we've got the mafia, for instance, they can murder and pillage and do what they want as long as they repent. And they go, say 10 male Harrys, and that's you, you're jamming, you're going to heaven. I think that's a load of shit. And it's the priest will just be like, oh, I'll confess to another priest, I'll get blessed, and then that'll be me, I'll be fine. See, that's how it works for them.
I swear. It's one rule for them and another rule for others.
Exactly.
They can do what they want to do because God is on their side. And then we are the sinners, and we are bad people. If we divorce, if we separate, if we have, gay relationships and so on, we are the bad people. We have strayed off the path of the Lord Jesus Christ. No. And I know people are probably, Jenny, you're a bit of a dick. And well, these are my thoughts and not everyone else's.
I get it all the time. Look, I'm going to say the new.
I'll never change my thoughts on this. I will never change it. And I would love to have Father Bob Bailey on my show.
Oh, he'll not come on here.
Father Bob, if you're watching somewhere, boy.
Old Bobby. You want to come on the show? Jenny wants to ask you a few questions.
I have a little word to have with you, Bob.
You're going to get these idiots in society. That's the problem. I mean, I get it all the time. See, every time I go live in that TikTok, Jenny, especially, I don't know what's with that TikTok. Thank God I've got good moderators, I'll tell you that now. But see some of the religious people that come in there. See if I get one more person in saying I'm going to be burnt at the stake, I should repent my sins and all that kind of stuff. You've got no idea. All these religious people are watching this today. You've got no idea, because when you cross into that afterlife, you're going to be totally, absolutely, completely shocked, because there's no religion in the afterlife.
You're running up to say, Chris, give me my cards. Give me my cards. I do believe with that, Sabrina, personally, I think it's all a form of control.
Exactly.
110%, Sabrina. 110%. It is God-fearing, man-fearing, God-fearing control of religion. And I remember years and years ago when I had people on my team, and there was one particular girl I had on my team, and her mother-in-law was very Catholic, very Christian, very Catholic, and would go to the church every day to clean the church and put fresh flowers into it and so on and so on. Did not like her daughter-in-law doing investigations, paranormal investigations.
Yeah.
No ghosts, no such thing as ghosts. That's a bad thing to do. That's a devil thing to do. That's a bad thing to do.
No.
I said to this girl, and I said, where is she going to go when she dies? Where's she going? she's going to the man up in the sky. And my point as well being, as a documentator of every investigation that I do, audio, video, I have audio to beat the bloody band.
Yeah.
To beat the band of proof of, no, when I say proof, I'll just say stuff that I've investigated that in locations in Ireland that I have no one's in the room when I have audio picked up and so on, EVPs. And I'm like, she believes in the man in the sky, God in the sky.
It'd be a man in the sky, wouldn't it?
And I said, we as people in the paranormal field have seen, heard, felt, touched, and so on. We have personal experiences of it. We have audio experiences of it. Sometimes we have video footage of it.
Mm-hmm.
Give me what you have of your spirit in the sky. And it wasn't a derogatory question towards her. It was basically, we are doing what we do because we are energy. When we pass over, we are energy, and we will never die because we are energy. And if anybody has ever watched someone who passed away,
no,
and I've seen, right, I've seen on Monday coming, it's my mother's first year of her passing. Which only feels like 6 months, but it's like a year.
Terrible.
I know, fuck.
Mm-hmm.
But when she puts her hands up in the air and talks to people, and you have no idea who and then she called me dad at one point, and I'm like, I knew then she was talking to granddad. It's like, you have no idea. And people say it's the medication they're on, it's the morphine they're on, it's making them hallucinate. But there's a lot of real things out there that makes this real. So when you have people who believe in religion but has no idea about what, of what, how and what and why, how we do it. Oh, hi, Laura, my love. Hiya, darling. Thank you for dropping in. So when you have people in religion who says that, there's no such thing as paranormal, but you have experienced it with people that you love, that you've watched them go through it. And even though you've done paranormal for many, many, many years, but when you see a loved one reaching up to the sky and calling you by a different name, it makes you go, like, it makes me take my breath away to say, oh my God, like, like shit, like, oh my God, I know it's real, but it's different when you hear voices on your recorders and when you download audio and so on. It's different, but when you hear it from people that you know and you love that has passed away, it almost made me stop doing investigations because it was very real. It was very real. I'm
going to say, obviously, a year and 4 months ago, my mum passed away, and I can tell you something right now. It was great. It was quite interesting because my uncle was here, my Uncle Sam, and that's her brother. And she was sitting, she was looking around about the room. I could feel the house. I could feel the house filling up. I could feel it filling up with people. And there was nobody there, obviously. And she said, they're coming to take me to the pictures. They're coming to take me to the pictures.
Yeah.
And I actually had a talk with a psychic medium. I do psychic stuff too, my readings and stuff like that. I can tell you something right now. When you die, you go back, right? There's no, God doesn't exist. There's like something else. It's like, it's always been. And it's like, I always find it funny because they always say God's a man. No, it's not. It's not a man, it's not a woman, it's just a light source, it's just a source of all life. And see, that's the mad thing about it. And I've watched videos, and have you ever seen the video, Jenny? And it's the old man dying in his bed. And it's an American one, and his dad starts singing Amazing Grace.
Yes, I did see it. I did actually, yeah. I did.
And again, I'm going to say the orb. I'm going to talk about orbs here. We've got orbs, but then we've got weird looking orbs, right?
Aye.
And he's lying there, and you can see like one coming in, and it just stops above him, and then it moves away at the other side. It's like it's got a kind of wispiness about it, as if it's like leaving a trail. Kind of, it's got a wispiness, and then when he dies, it's like something comes out the top of his head, and it's like it just goes away up and disappears.
Isn't it crazy? Isn't it crazy?
Yeah.
Ryan, I left before my mum died. My sister wouldn't stop talking to me. Oh, it's gosh, when we're all in the room with my mum passing away, and I have to say, I've never seen anything like it before. I've seen videos on YouTube like it, and we all got a call on a Wednesday to go up. So she was like 30 minutes away from us. So we drove up very quickly, and I was the first one there among with my other sisters. And I went in and I touched my mum's hand, and I kind of like held her hand, very like really feather soft, but I still, with my hand touch on her, it hurt her.
Yeah.
And I said, "Mommy, Mom, it's me, it's Jenny, it's Jenny, it's Jenny." And my mum at this stage, she was active, passing away. And I tell you, this woman cannot talk. She could not talk. She could not say a one word. She looked at me and she was trying to tell me something. And I'm like, "Mommy, it's okay. You don't have to talk. You don't have to talk." Because she's actively dying. So everything is shutting down and she's still trying to say something to me. And I'm, "Mom, it's okay. It's okay. You don't have to talk. You don't have to talk." I don't know. Because I do audio and I do EVP work and I do audio and I can make out what people are saying. I made out what she was saying to me. She was trying so hard to tell me that she loved me. And that just broke me to pieces. That had me done. I was done after that. And I could put my head behind her so she wouldn't see me crying. It was hard, yeah.
Yeah.
But is it hard when they're actively passing away and
it's terrible.
They have no voice left, but they can still manage to tell you exactly what they need to say. You know, and it was hard. It was bloody well tough. So, my goodness.
But see, that's the thing. She'll still be about. She'll be lingering. She'll probably be a lot happier now. She'll probably be a lot younger now. She'll probably be no pain anymore.
She's giving out about me.
Aye, she's like, there's my daughter there. She's talking about the chips.
She'll probably say, "Jenny, did you ever stop talking, Jenny? Did you ever stop talking, Jenny?" She'll probably say that to me. "You ever stop talking, Jenny?"
It's like I'm going to say this now. I've got a friend that's a hospice worker, and she was telling me quite a lot of interesting things. She's how they point at the corner of the room, and they say, "Oh, they're coming for me. They're coming for." Look, I'm going to say that I kind of people will be watching this will be, "Oh no, that's actually a demon." And it's the same. It's the same when I say I talk to my guides, because I do have guides. I do have spiritual guides because I do the spiritual stuff and that.
Yeah.
If a priest was in here, they'd be like, "Oh, that's a demon. That's a demon. You're in the occult. You're going to be burned this day. Oh, you're doomed. I tell you what I need to do for this. I need to get Mrs. Doubtfire out for this. Oh, dearie. Mrs. Doubtfire here. I'll tell you this, I'm 138, and I believe in the afterlife, dearie."
I'm laughing at her. I wanted my sister to shut up too. The only way I could stop her was to leave.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, my dog is looking up. You see my dog now? You know when dogs just know when something's wrong? And then Yogi is just below my chair because he just came over to me to say hi to me. Oh, my poor. You know when dogs just know when you're upset? Oh, the
dogs are amazing. You ever noticed? Yeah. Again, people are going to say, "Oh, but dogs don't go to heaven." Yes, they do. Dogs do go to an afterlife too. Like all animals.
I'm going to dog heaven. I'm not going to heaven unless they have dog pets and animals.
My God, I'll be chased about with rabbits and budgies and everything. They'll be chasing me about and about. I'll be like that. What you got, Bruce Almighty? I'll be getting chased with wildlife and heaven all around about the place. But do you never find with dogs when they know that they're going to die, they get away from you? You ever noticed that? That's
a strange thing that you would say that, because I read about that last night.
Yeah.
I did read about that last night where, and you know why they do it? This is what I read. It's not, I know why they do it, but.
Because they don't want to hurt you.
Yes.
No.
Oh, crap, yes. Oh, Jesus, let's not talk about animals now, because that's when you're going to make me cry. Animals.
God, you're going to be getting chased about heaven with coolies and cats and rabbits and budgies and hamsters and mice and goldfish.
I had a mouse as a pet. His name was Lucky. A pure heaven experience. Oh, would be heaven. Not for me anyway. When I was doing meditation and someone said to me, "What is your idea of heaven?" And you know, my idea of heaven was, you have this big plain field, and all I can see is giraffes and elephants. and gorillas and my dogs because I have a passion for gorillas, whales, and giraffes. Like if you give me all of those three,
The gorillas in the mist kind of thing, you know.
I've watched that movie many, many, many times
I have to
before.
bring it up.
Well, I watched it for the first time ever, and I had to be stretchered to bed. And then it was on TV a few months ago, and my daughter was there, and I just said, "Nope, I'm not watching it. I can't watch it. I couldn't watch it. I did a little
It's
bit."
kind of like the movie, was it?
Well, that's
When
it.
Dreams May Come, isn't it? It's kind of
That Chris, that movie, I went to see in the cinema, and I had to be stretchered out of the cinema because I could not breathe for it, and I've never watched it again after that ever. Because
exactly, Sabrina. I mean, look, it's look. I do think I'll tell you something new. I've lost 1, 2, 3, 4 dogs in my life, and a goldfish, 2 rabbits, and my auntie had a guinea pig. You ever had a guinea pig?
I did. I rescued.
God, it was a vicious bugger. It bit me twice. It was a vicious thing. I was just, hello there, little guinea pig. And the bloody thing was like biting me and all that. My niece had a cat called Maggie, and she was a jet black cat, like a witch's cat. And I loved Maggie. Maggie was a great cat. She used to follow me down the road and all that. Really good. She's got a new man new called Bo. She's nice. I've seen pictures.
She said she's got a new man.
No, a new cat.
I thought she
New
said
cat. I got a wee leash and takes them out walks and stuff like that. But I see in Scotland that they want to bring in a law. That's actually interesting. They want to bring in a law where the cats are only allowed to go out on a leash, which I think is stupid because they're killing the wild.
Well, that's not. I mean, I will say, as a person who works with Kill a Guinea Pig,
It bloody bit me. The vicious.
The movie,
it was.
sorry, the movie is it What Dreams May Come?
Yes.
That's the movie we're talking about. What Dreams May
Yes.
Come. Cats are, dogs and cats are domesticated. Dogs should not be let out, free willy-nilly and do their own thing. It's not safe for them. The same with cats. Cats should not be let out willy-nilly. Cats are more wild hunting.
Oh yeah.
Felines. So, and that is what they do. As long as you have them neutered, have them microchipped, have them collared and tagged, that doesn't even stop them from anything bad happening to them. I understand that. But if they do get lost and you have them collared and tagged and chipped, there's a more chance of them getting to their homes. But always, when you tag them, when you microchip them, always put your name and address in it. Because people say, we got this dog, and the dog is like, there's a chip on the dog.
Yeah, it means it's chipped.
Right, what's the owner's name?
Yeah.
It's just blank. And for the love of Christ, and I work in rescue, why are you chipping your dog without putting your information onto it? It's beggars belief. They should be fined for that even. They should be fined for it.
Our border collie Jessie, she's chipped, but it's her date of birth, everything's on it, contact information and name and address, everything's on it. Absolutely everything.
Okay, we already have no cats. We have no cats allowed outside either. That's when my neighbor murdered my cat. No one cared. Oh, let me tell. I tell you now, they would not be my neighbor because I tell you, I'm not going to say what I think, but they would not want to be my neighbor. As you know, I always say exactly what I think, but they would definitely not.
That's something that I could never get, Jenny, and this maybe somebody could help me in the chat here. I used to have a lot of old gardeners round about me, and they always loved their gardens, right?
Right.
And now they're all dead now. They're probably in the afterlife watching me right now as I say this. But they used to get really pissed off because cats would go in and do the toilet. Cats are like, but you came what they used to do? They used to get like clear plastic cola bottles and fill them with water and put them round about their garden.
Yeah.
And I always wondered to myself, how does that scare away a cat?
Apparently the cats will see the reflection in it and then it would stop them from going into that garden. I mean, I haven't tried it. I haven't done it. That's what I know of and read of. But then you'll have people would plant flowers such as lilies. And lilies are extremely poisonous to cats.
Yeah,
and even in when it's cold, antifreeze. Antifreeze is very sweet. It's a sweet tasting to cats. And they will drink it. And obviously antifreeze will kill them. That's what killed my cat from many years ago was antifreeze because it's very sweet. And like lilies at winter time, Easter time, lilies are very poisonous to cats. And those red flowers in the Christmas time, they are very poisonous to cats as well. There's a lot.
What's that? Okay, what the heck is up with the neighbours murdering cats? I had a neighbour who poisoned my cat. Yeah.
Because
Terrible.
they think, do you know why? Because I think most people think cats are vermin.
No. I never used to like cats, but then my niece got cats.
I have,
and I became a kind of cat person after that. Because her cat climbs up over the top of me and sniffs about me, and I quite like clapping it. I find it nice because they purr away when you're clapping them.
I used to have, I have 4 cats now. I used to have 6, but they died of old age and so on. And I've got 5 dogs. And the cats are brilliant because, you know, I live in a nice place and so on and so on. But if you don't have your cats, there's nowhere birds can nest here because, you know, and that's good for the birds, obviously. But cats are seen as vermin. And you must get them new. See, dogs will come into season every 6 months or every 12 months. Cats will come into season all the time.
I hear that. Yeah.
They do. People think because it's summer or whatever, cats will come to season. The minute a male cat will get your female cat, they will become pregnant. They can become pregnant with 3 different cats.
The farm behind my house has got cats. The farm behind my house has got cats, and I'm not joking you, they must have about 30 cats.
You know why that is? Do you know why that is? Because they're not getting them neutered.
So and they're multiplying.
Right. So so the mom and dad, the brother, sister, the cousins, the uncles are all breeding together, which will bring out genetic problems with these cats.
Yeah.
Not only that, they're not being looked after. The mum is not being looked after. And farmers, and I will say farmers are absolute.
Yes.
Because cats will be an animal that will get rid of rats. Farmland. But these farmers are fuckers because they will not get these cats neutered, thinking that the more cats they have, the more, you know, you have no rats or mice. But these cats are suffering and overbreeding and interbreeding and have problems and so on because farmers are dicks. Sorry, I'm saying what I'm saying. No, you see, priests are dicks and farmers are dicks.
You go to the same thing. What there? Yeah, my cats. When you go.
Oh no, sorry. Yeah, my cat sits pretty and she stays and does tricks for trees like my dog. She's so smart. My cats are not smart. They are a little bit. They are a little bit because they're so spoiled. And I know I can make a certain sound to the cat, and he comes over to me, and he's somewhere. He's over there in the chair. I can't see him. He's over there in the chair. But they're clever cats. They are good cats.
Do you know have a cat that's got something wrong with it? It's kind of twitches or something like that.
Yeah, he's a special needs cat. He has a cerebellar hyperplasia, which is known as wobble syndrome. So that cerebellum in the brain that grows to control your motor skills did not grow because he had a virus or mum had a virus. So now he walks, and he's about 8 or 9 years of age, but he still falls. Like there's mild, moderate, and severe. He's moderate/severe. I've had a severe one before that could not do anything at all, but this one here is moderate. So he walks like wobble syndrome. So he walks like you're out in the night out wearing heels for 8 hours and you're walking home after your kebab shop.
It's quite interesting because every time I go to my brother's house, he's got one of those big LED TVs and he puts the animal program on.
And they sit and watch it.
And it's the wee birds. And her name's Bo, my niece's cat, my niece Rebecca's cat's called Bo. And it comes in and it climbs up on it and it's like looking at them. You can see it just getting ready. And it's like fascinated because that's obviously prey to them, isn't it? That's prey, yeah.
Total prey. Aaron Farmer was saying Max didn't do tricks, but he would herd the lids and dig hole like dogs. He used to love going to the nursing home next door and go for rides in the resident war goods. See, that's a cat. That's a cat. I have a video of him right at work on my channel. I want to see that. I have to see that. But cats are very clever, smart, funny.
Very spiritual animals too, because the Egyptians used them.
Mine are broken. My cats are so broken. Like
the spirits.
My cats are broken. My cats are broken. And you know what they're supposed to, sense stuff? Unless they sense something really bad. But they don't send. I mean, there's somebody in my house. I get that. I know it.
I wouldn't worry about it. It's just
I genuinely don't care about it. I genuinely don't care. But my cats are totally broken when it comes to anything that's in my house. My dogs as you can hear, Miss Hope behind me, who looks like a little pig,
Oh,
is the one that's snoring.
dogs are funny too. I mean, I don't know if you've seen that video of Jessie the other day. I was up at the creek, and I taken a wee stone that size. You know what some dogs are like, and I threw it into the water, and I thought, oh, she'll be away for a while. And then all of a sudden, she came out of the water with a stone that was huge. It was the size of a loaf of bread. She plonked it down, and I'm like, I couldn't even pick that up. How did you manage to bring that to me? I mean,
she's collie through and through. He was a vicious feral when I got him. The vet wanted to put him down, but he ended up being loved by the whole family, the whole community. But see, I rehabilitate feral cats because I love feral cats. I love them because when they're older, it's a little harder to train them. When they're kittens, you can always train them because they had a little bit of bad human life that you can fix and help that. When they're older, that can happen as well. It takes a little bit longer, but it can happen as well.
Here's an opinion I wanted to ask you, Jenny, right? Somebody was telling me the other day that they lost their dog. It was like, and I said to them, I said, you shouldn't have done that. And they said, oh, this is my friend that did it. So the dog lived till it was like 15. I can't remember, it was like a German Shepherd or something like that, right?
Okay.
It was like 15. And I said, are you getting a new dog? Are you getting a new pet dog? And they went, yes, we are. We're getting my original dog cloned.
Oh.
So they're getting the same dog that they had. Cloned.
Okay. From
because they knew it was dying, the dog was dying at the old age, so the vet taking a sample.
Okay, so they took his genetics, his genes, and so on, and cloned him again.
And it's costing a lot of money. I ken that, a lot of money.
They'll never be the same dog that you've ever had.
See, that's because I says to them, I says that's not going to be the same dog. Oh yes, it's got to be the same one. And I says no, it's not, because the soul's in it. It's different.
It's not the same dog. It's another dog that is the replica of your dog that you've just cloned.
Yeah. And then there's the people that are meant to be cloning the wolves. You know, the ones that
the dire
wolves,
right?
Which I think is a very bad idea.
But it's not complete dire wolves, because they have the grey wolves and so on, and they're the closest to the dire wolves, and that's what they're cloning it from. So they're not complete and utter dire wolves. They are cloning the dire wolves with something else, which I need to look over again, but they're not complete and utter genuine dire wolves at all.
I think it's wrong. I don't think people should do it. Oh no, we don't need a bunch of dogs running around like guys from exactly guys from Mother. I mean,
Pet Cemetery. I tell you, I have a Pet Cemetery.
I never watched that. I've never watched that Pet Cemetery. What's it all about? I hear people going on about it
because it's about dead animals, and I have about 10 cremated animals in my cabinet over there beside me.
Is that like a collection kind of thing? Do you know, like scatter them anywhere or that? Or?
No, I never buried any of them, because if I ever move from here, I don't want to leave them behind.
Exactly.
If I go, they can always come with me, and it will be in my will that they all just be put into my coffin or cremation, whatever I may do, and they all come with me.
That's nice.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
That's nice. That. So, Jenny, when are you going live next on your channel and on TikTok?
I think I am live next week. I do have on the 23rd or 24th of May. I have to double check that date. I have two fantastic people on with me, Tony and Cherie Rathman, and they do the Staticom. And let me tell you, they are absolutely amazing of what they do. They are now upgrading from a 2 to a 3.0. I have listened to the work. I have been on the show with them. I've co-hosted with my friend Mary Williamson from the Netherlands, and I have spoken with them before. It's going to be a 2-hour show. You need to watch it. It is, if you like audio, you like EVPs, you have to You have to listen to
I'll
this.
watch it. I'll be watching it.
It
I'll
is
watch it.
creme de la creme. And someone who loves EVPs and ITC, this is the creme de la creme. This is all ITC. Creme de la creme. So it's on the 23rd or 24th. I have to double check that date. But it is May 23rd, 24th. And then after that, on the 31st of May, I'm going up to the north of Ireland and I will be doing a 2-week tour for Secret Island tours for May Hernan. We are traveling all around the north of Ireland and then we're taking the tour, fantastic people from America and UK, over to Scotland to do another week tour there. And then we end up back in Belfast. So we are going away for, I think it's 11, 12 days. And we will be going live on that. We will be going live on those times away on our locations.
That'll be awesome.
On the 1st of June. 2nd of June, we'll be going live on it. So once...
do you have a link, Jenny? Do you have a link?
I have a link. Secret Island Tours. Okay, I will send the link onto Chris's page. Sabrina, I'll send the link onto Chris's page so you can see it. We will be going live on it. We'll be going live every day. Live every day all around Crumlin Road Jail, the Giant's Causeway, and many other places in the north of Ireland, and then over to St. Mary's King's Close in Scotland. We're going to be staying in Edinburgh for 3 days.
Edinburgh.
I love Edinburgh. And we're going to Bobby Friars because I have to rub the dog. I so have to rub the dog.
You have to rub the dog. You know how wrong that just sounded?
No, because I think I have to rub the dog. I'm rubbing my dog beside me now. My dog is in the drawer beside me because she's so small. She's in the drawer beside me. And if I could put her in my suitcase with me or my little dog bag, I would have her with me.
I mean, I think it'll be awesome. You'll be doing some TikToks there too. I just want to tell everybody all the members. I'll be doing a members night tomorrow night. I'm going away tomorrow. I'm going taking Alan for the tea room. Last Sunday I went away to the lead mining place and I got loads of crystals. It was good. I got loads of crystals. Oh,
did you?
Yeah.
Yes, I've got to see it.
Wait, I'll go and get some of them. I'll get some of them. Show you them.
Show your crystals there, Christopher.
Yeah, you get the new.
Do you know what, Aaron? I love camping. I don't know anyone who would come camping with me, but I love camping. There's a fabulous place up in the north of Ireland called Rams Island, and it's one of my favorite places to camp in. You light the fire, you're just under a canopy of trees, and then you have a log cabin and you have a lock. It's just because you get a boat over to the island. It's absolutely fabulous. I love it.
I've got a lot of the crystals are wee ones and they're all in particular stands, but I bought slices. So I bought slices.
Nice.
So I bought that one there. So
it's
a geoid.
Okay.
So it's a slice. And then this one I think was the best one actually. I think that's the best one.
Do you know what the name? That's gorgeous.
Well, that's amethyst, but it's what do you call it? And it's been cut in half. Does it benefit if you shine like a torch through it?
Yeah,
so I don't know if get this to come on. Wait, now Magic Harry Potter Luminous. There we go. Look at that. So if I put that through it, it's not going to do it, is it? Look at it now.
If you put it in front of the camera and put the torch behind the camera, and then it will shine on.
I don't know if it'll shine through or no. So
it sees more of the torch.
Yeah, so it's not really doing it there. Kind of what I mean for it. It's not kind of like
if you put the camera in the light in front of the camera.
Even like that.
No, leave your stone like that. Oh, I can see it. I can see it just like that. Oh, that's really gorgeous. Oh
so
my God.
There's that in. And then there's obviously that in.
Oh my gosh. See, I love all this stuff.
Oh, I've got hundreds, I've got loads and loads of, knocks. I've put all the Harry Potter.
I've turned torch off.
I've put all the Harry Potter spells into my new phone. I know, come on, MD that's watching this. I've put all the Harry Potter spells into my phone.
I've never watched Harry Potter once.
Huh?
I've never watched
Harry Potter.
And about 20 minutes of it, and that was it. About 20 minutes, and that was it.
Come
Hey,
on, you've never watched
Donna.
Harry. Hey, Donna.
Hiya.
I mean, if you've never watched Harry Potter,
About
oh,
20 minutes,
Harry Potter.
half an hour of it, and that was it. There was nothing more that I watched to it. And
Ah,
that was it. No, I didn't watch anything else more after that. Because I was busy doing stuff.
So, guys, I've got a members' night tomorrow night, round about 10 p.m. tomorrow. For all the members, we'll be doing some tarot readings. I've got the cards here, obviously, everywhere. They're lying everywhere. But yeah, it's been really good tonight. It's been really, really good tonight. Jenny, thank you for coming on.
You're very welcome.
I thought I was the only person in the world who had
Right. Who watched Harry Potter? Never watched it. Never watched it. I watched it when they were flying around on the brooms. That was it. And then
the brooms.
That was it. I never watched any more of it. And I just watched
oh, hello.
Man.
Oh, dearie. Mrs. Doubtfire here. Ooh.
Doubtfire.
To Edinburgh. You'll be going to Edinburgh. Oh, it's my hometown, you know.
I tell you, the next time we do a show, you have to come on dressed as Doubtfire.
No, that's not. Oh, hello, dearie. I did it on the Xbox. I had everybody laughing the other night in Call of Duty. I could have Mrs. Doubtfire on the party chat for everybody.
They were going to do a Doubtfire 2, but that didn't happen.
It's the same as Forrest Gump 2. They were going to do a Forrest Gump 2.
Really?
Yeah.
Run, Jenny, run!
Run, Jenny! That's what they'll be shouting to you in Edinburgh when you're in the vaults. Run, Jenny! Run!
You know? Hey, Jenny.
You know, it's that's what it'll be. You know, I am Firehorse. You need to go back to Scotland and run through the vaults.
So much, darling. Thank you so much.
So,
catch up,
guys. I'll play the outro now, and thank you everybody for coming. Remember, check out Jenny's links. Check out her show. Give her a subscribe on TikTok. I'll talk to you behind the scenes anyway. Everybody that came tonight, have a fantastic and safe night. And it's I need to check my lottery. Maybe I've won the lottery. Maybe I'm sitting here the multi-millionaire. There's a chance of getting run over, mind you, by a one-legged donkey. But yeah, everybody, please be safe out there. I'll see you all tomorrow night for the members' night. Be safe. What's left of me? See everybody soon.
Good night.
In the darkness of the night, we send our dreams to the stars, leaving Earth behind, searching for life. Wonder if there are aliens in their cars, floating through this cosmic sea. Are we alone or just a mystery? Searching the cosmos, seeking the truth. All of our voices echo to the moon. Alien life, tales of the youth. Together we'll dance to the celestial tune. Galaxies swirl in an endless dance. Messages whispered, caught in the winds. The universe spurs our wild romance. In this quest, a new chapter begins. Eyes are watching from afar. Will we find them, or are they just a scar? Searching the cosmos, seeking the truth.